Hi, welcome to today's Hug. It's called HubSpot AI Tools, Continuing the Conversation. I'm Eric Severstad, Creative Director at Weidert Group, and I want to thank you for joining us in this AI journey that we are all on. There's so much information about AI. There's so many tools to try. It is a continuing journey with so many things changing all the time. So today we're just going to focus mostly on HubSpot AI tools. It's a hug after all. And it's really a springboard off of our hug that we had in November on AI tools that are found in HubSpot. We're not going to repeat those same tools. You can go back and watch that hug and get even more information and more tips to use in HubSpot. But we really want to continue the conversation because that's what you asked us to do. So we want to help you understand HubSpot tools better. We want you to understand AI better. If we can do that, we're happy to help. So one advice I always tell people when we're thinking about this topic is to tackle AI as a team, if you can possibly do that. There are too many tools and too many changes for one person to keep track of. And if you have a teammate there to help you and share information, you're really going to be better off. There are no user manuals for these tools. They just appear and you have to dive in and learn them. And having a teammate with you is really, really helpful. So I will discuss noteworthy AI news and some product updates that have happened since November, the last hug, both in HubSpot and throughout the AI world. Then you're going to hear from 3 other members of the Weidert Group AI team, and they're going to be demoing some tools and showing you what's happening in HubSpot. And they've used these to help them in their daily work, and these are things that you can use right now to help you. Now, no tool is perfect, and they do have limitations. And you're going to get honest input from these folks, the good, the bad, everything. And it's just a continuing journey. Like we said, they keep getting better, but none of them are perfect yet. What we're going to do throughout the demos is use a campaign example. We're going to show you how AI can increase your efficiency with one campaign. We picked our sales and marketing conference that we have in May called Experience Inbound. So a little shameless plug that we'll use, but that's our campaign where we're going to demo these tools. So when you signed up for this hug, we asked you, what tasks do you want AI to help you do? And thank you for your input on that. And we're going to hit on as many of those as we can. A lot of talk about writing blogs, emails, writing other forms of content, but also some reporting, AI use in reporting functions as well. And we're going to get to that. One thing that came up a lot was everything. That was a popular answer. You need help with everything. And we can't cover everything, but we're going to cover a lot. So Kelly is going to talk about HubSpot Blog Generator. That's a lot of the writing tools. Matt is going to hit on AI reporting features. And then Rick, he has a ton of experience with sales automation and sales tools. And he's going to show you how a sales team can send out outreach emails, both using ChatSpot in HubSpot, but also using ChatGPT as well, and kind of comparing how those can work. We'll have time at the end for questions and maybe even time for questions in between sections here as we go. So add your questions into the chat and we'll keep an eye on that. So a quick word about generative AI before we jump into the tools. AI continues to grow and it continues to be confusing. Like I said, there's no user manuals out there for this, so we all kind of have to learn as we go. So some of the changes that have happened in the AI world that are not HubSpot specific, there are so many, and it's only been a few months since November. Microsoft has rebranded their AI tool Bing as Copilot. You may have heard of that. Google rebranded Bard as Gemini, and they offer 2 months free. So jump on that and check out Gemini. It's pretty powerful. Then there have been a lot of updates as well. Claude 3 got released earlier this month. That is a heavy hitter in the industry. That tool is impressive. Check that out. And OpenAI, the company that created ChatGPT, they now offer customized GPTs where you can create a specific GPT for a use case that you might need. At Weidert Group, we've created them for specific clients, and we ask that GPT to only focus on certain information that we give it in certain markets that we want it to, in certain audiences. And it'll give us very focused, more concise and accurate, really, copy and ideas, because we've done that on our own GPTs. OpenAI has also introduced GPT Team, and they made updates to that even just last week. But it's an opportunity for your team to get together in ChatGPT and work as a group. OpenAI also they've been teasing their next version, ChatGPT 4.5 or 5, whatever they're going to be calling it. But it's going to be releasing this summer, and again, it's going to have increased capabilities, and it'll probably blow us away with what it can do. And there have been changes to other AI tools, Midjourney and Canva and Hugging Face. Have you heard of Hugging Face? Well, you don't really need to, but there are so many things out there, and they're just increasing in their power so quickly. So at Weidert Group, we're always testing our AI tools, and we're learning, and we're failing, and we're celebrating our successes together because we are on this AI journey together. And if we can share the knowledge that we have and help you, a busy marketer, do your tasks more efficiently and not get overwhelmed with AI, we really want to do that. And you probably have insights to share with us about some of the things that you've found. And hopefully we'll have a chance to talk about that later. Now let's talk about recent HubSpot AI news and updates that they've done since we last met in November. When they rolled out their HubSpot AI roadmap, which you see here, it's still the same. And that's really important and smart, because those are the basic foundations of where HubSpot is going to go with AI. So that hasn't changed. Well, what has changed is some incremental things to help the user experience when you're in HubSpot. And those little things can mean a lot when you're using the tools. HubSpot's February product updates document, it's a 78-page document just released in February, and that was loaded with AI-infused improvements on their tools. So they are working really hard to make AI a more efficient thing in their platform. One thing I want to point out, that lightning icon that you see at the top right of the screen, when you're in HubSpot and you click on that, you are enabling AI Content Assistant immediately. And so you're going to have AI powers right there. It's not always intuitive. So when you see that lightning bolt, you know what it is. Let's talk about AI Assistant a little bit and some of the updates that have happened since November. One thing is Google search ads. Those can be tricky to write. They can be difficult to get right. And so they have updated what you can do in HubSpot for that specific task. Social posts as well. They've updated how to write social posts, automate them better. So that's an improvement again since November. In Sales Hub, HubSpot call recording and intelligence tool, that's been updated. So it's really nice to have a summary and transcripts of your calls. And that is handy, can save you a ton of time. The playbook feature in HubSpot can streamline your sales team's efforts as well. So that's writing, that's idea generation as well. Writing emails really gives you multiple examples generated from an AI that you can go in and use and then customize. So you have complete control over everything. It's just a nice way to get started if you're stuck. And then there's some predictive AI technology weaved in as well. So sales data and some sales forecasting tools help a lot. Clearbit by HubSpot. Now that's a new thing as well. Clearbit, it takes contact and company data, and it just makes it a lot easier to use for your sales force. So gathering information, lead scoring, buyer intent, things like that. Clearbit is, if that's your thing, look into Clearbit on HubSpot. And then of course, ChatSpot is the big tool, I guess, in HubSpot, and that's made improvements as well as far as memory goes. across conversations, so it'll help remember things that you've used it for in the past. And it helps you organize as well in HubSpot. As far as conversions, you can put those in threads, conversations, excuse me, put those in threads so you can just organize your content and your discussions with the HubSpot AI tool a little bit better. So today you're going to see some of these tools in action, and some of the things that just weren't possible in November, at least to the quality level that you're going to see today. These just weren't available a couple months back. So we want to keep you as informed as possible. Okay, are there any questions right off the bat before we jump into the fun? See if
there's a little bit of chatter about creating your own GPT.
Okay.
Have you worked with that, Eric?
Yes, I created my own GPT when it was released end of November, early December last year, and we have other people at Weidert Group that are doing that for specific client work as well. And what it does is focuses, when ChatGPT normally searches everywhere for information, you can specify how it's going to answer your prompt. So your prompt can be very specific to a certain target audience, and it'll only use the sources that you have set up for it to use. It's really easy to set up. I'm no coding person whatsoever. It's really easy to set up your own GPT. Anything else? We want to see some stuff, because you've heard me chatter a lot, so you probably want to see some stuff in action. How are we doing? Okay, I'm going to turn this over to Kelly.
All right, hello everyone. I'm gonna just share my screen here, but I think Eric needs to stop sharing real quick. Like we said, lots of fun going back and forth. We just want to give you guys a kind of the full experience here with demoing some cool stuff that we've been playing with. So let me share my screen and we'll get into it. So here we go. All right. So I just have a couple slides, and then we're actually just going to dive right into HubSpot and do some stuff together. So the blog post generator in HubSpot is a tool that I think was out in November, honestly, when we last met, but it wasn't as robust, and it integrates a lot better with like the native HubSpot tools. Like in November, we had shown the content assistant, and like Eric said, you can go back and watch that recording if you're curious. But that was like a separate tool. You had to kind of go outside of your marketing hub to use it. And so now this is all right within, if you have Marketing Hub Pro or above, I think you'll have access to everything that I'm showing. And then also, just as Mary, I think mentioned, we're going to send out the recording afterwards, and so you'll also get a PDF of these slides. So we've included, as we go along here, some resources for you. Matt and Rick, who are coming after me, I think have some resources too. So we're sending out the PDF. You guys can have all these links. We just put those in there for handy for you to learn more afterwards. So with that, we're going to dive in. I'm going to show you some prompts and some alternate ways that you can do this too. The blog post generator, the literal tool, isn't the only tool actually that can help with some of these things in HubSpot. You can use ChatSpot and some other things to help you start the blog process to ideate. So I'm going to show a couple different ways real quick, and then we'll focus mostly on the blog post generator tools to carry throughout. So if you are looking for ideas to come up with, or you're looking for an outline to get you started, or maybe you have a blog draft and you just need to expedite the process of creating meta description, or you want to tweak your headline, what are some other headlines I could do? Or, okay, I have this thing, how can I expedite my social promotion of it, to take a post that I wrote and change it over to all the channels that I need to be on. So that's what we're gonna hop into now. So I'm gonna exit out of here, and we're actually gonna go right into ChatSpot to begin with. So like Eric said, we're selfishly, shamelessly using an example of Experience Inbound as we go throughout this. And we're not Yes, it is self-promotional. We're going to admit that right away. But also, we wanted to give you guys, I don't know about you, but I work best with concrete examples. And so when we were thinking about how can we structure this so that it's not just all over the place, there's all these tools, because being overwhelmed with AI is one of the biggest challenges, right? And so we felt like it would be helpful for you if we kind of stuck as presenters to an example that we could carry throughout these tools and show you how do you take this thing that you need to do from start to finish and use AI throughout your workflow. So I hope it's helpful. I hope you find that helpful. If you do or don't, let us know. We're open to feedback, and as we have more hugs this year, we want to really make it useful for you. So this is a prompt I put into ChatSpot. And I said, you know, what blog articles could I write in order to help promote a conference that we're hosting soon? So I didn't even give it any information about the conference. I just really, you know, am staring at a blank page on my EdCal, and I'm like, what could I put on here about to help us drive attendance and to help our audience get value from this conference that we're hosting? And so it actually, I think Rick's gonna talk a little bit more about ChatSpot later, but ChatSpot has definitely gotten better since the last time we met. I think we were all a little brutally honest in November when we had tested ChatSpot, but it's gotten a lot better. I've done some things with it recently that have actually been helpful. So, and it's nice because it integrates with your HubSpot CRM. So if you wanted to ask it things about, you know, contacts or records or reports like in your CRM, it can pull from your actual data. So that's cool. But this prompt is really just a kind of similar to if you were to go over to ChatGPT and put it in there. So this gives me some ideas. You know, I can talk about why you shouldn't miss this conference, you know, some keynote speakers. It just gets the ball rolling, and I can say, okay, that sparked something. Now I'm going to head over into the blog post generator tool. So we are in here. I'm actually going to back out of here quick because I want to show you how I got here. So if you are in Marketing Hub under the blog, and I'm in a demo portal right now, so things, you know, might look a little bit different than yours. But if you're under blog, and it takes you to where all your blogs are in the back end, you can click Generate Blog Post. And hopefully the internet cooperates here, and we've got, if it doesn't have backup plans, don't worry. So here I'm going to paste a prompt that I had tested before this so that it would hopefully work for us. But I'm just asking it, create a blog article that makes the case for marketers and salespeople at B2B companies to attend our event. And it gave the GPT, for lack of a better term, it gave the AI some more information about it. And I told it to, here's the full website for this event so that, you know, it can, if it's capable of scraping the website for some more info, hopefully it'll do that. And so then I click next. And it's going to think here for a little bit. It says ideas percolating. But what it's going to show us here in the next step is some working headlines. And not only that, it's going to show us the keyword that it's basing that headline on. So that just helps you determine, you know, is this going after something that's remotely relevant to me? If you don't like any of these titles, but you think, you know, yeah, that keyword is sort of relevant, you can generate a new title that's based on that. And if you don't like them exactly as they are, that's okay, because if you pick one on the next screen, we'll see how you could tweak it to be more what you want it to be or more to your brand voice. Because let's be honest, this is AI. Like, you're going to have to do some editing, and you're going to want to do some editing to make it sound and align better with your brand. But at least, like we said, this you're not staring at a blank page. So I'm going to say that I like this building connections, networking opportunities theme, and we're going to go to the next screen where it's going to tell us some suggested subheadings, which is basically what you could think of as your blog post outline. So based on that topic, what are the sort of key points that you want to hit in this blog article? And again, here it gives me 5 right off the bat that I can think about. I can add up to 5 more. I can delete ones that I don't want. I can tweak them here. If I click in here, I can edit any of them, change words. I can also drag and drop them to reorder them if I don't like that order that they're in. And when I'm happy with it, roughly happy enough with it, I'm going to hit generate blog post. This up here, this title, that's where I mentioned if you don't love the title that it comes up with, you can edit it here to be what you want. This is going to be the H1 that comes into your blog post, so your main headline. And then this description, we'll see on the next screen, it uses this as the intro for your post and the meta description. But when we're on the actual blog post editor on the next screen, we can edit the intro however we want. We can also go in and edit the meta description in the blog settings just like you normally would. But again, you don't have to start from scratch. And it's going to build the blog post draft based on what you have here, the description and these subheads. It's going to then generate paragraphs that fill in the draft for you. So let's see what it does. It's thinking, it says tip, always check generated content before publishing. We would agree with that. We would not even say check, but edit it, right? Because if you publish it as is, it's going to sound like AI published it. So it's thinking about that. This it'll just take a couple seconds here. While it's doing that, I'll just foreshadow a little bit. My last couple minutes after it generates this here, I'm going to show you the social tools as well. Okay, so now it's got a draft here, and now if you've posted blogs in HubSpot before, you're familiar with this editor. You can edit away here. You can, now that we're in here, we have access to some of those other content assistant tools like you may have used before. And here's a fun little update that I noticed preparing for this. The lightning bolt that Eric mentioned is now a diamond. So leave it to things to change overnight. But yeah, so anywhere you see this little diamond now, it's like, magic gem. Think of it as that's your AI symbol. So again, I can select anything in here. These features aren't particularly new. They were here in November, but again, like they were sort of sprinkled throughout like the tools, but now it's a little more consistent and so it might feel more familiar to you if you've played with some of those already. But we can rewrite, we can expand, we can shorten. We have some options to change the tone. So you can select any paragraph, any sentence, any part of the article that it's generated and use AI again if you want to change it up. One thing that I will say that I tried to make the AI do was to turn a paragraph into a bulleted list for me. That doesn't work, but it does if you want to select it and you want to say, give me a bulleted list of how I can utilize technology for networking success in this case. It will give you a paragraph that you can pretty easily break into bullets. So that's an option too. Like we said, it's not perfect. So last thing I want to show in the editor here, if you want to put in an image, let's say, so we go over to our settings area and we go to featured image. There are a couple things in here AI-wise. First of all, for accessibility, there's a new feature for post narration. I'll admit we haven't played with this much. It's really new. It's in beta. If anybody's played with this, I'd love to know in the chat. Throw that in the chat if you've used it and if you've had any luck with it. But they put that in there for accessibility because it's basically a screen reader to enable screen readers to be accurate. So the featured image wise, if you wanted to put in an image here, let's say that was from Experience Inbound, you could do that really, really quickly. I have to turn it on. That's why I'm not seeing it. So I'm going to enable featured image. I'm going to say browse images. And I don't think this feature is particularly new either. I'm going to just copy the URL here, but it's one that I think goes underutilized. I will say that you want to make sure, obviously, that you own the property that you're scraping from, because we own the Experience Inbound website domain with Stream Creative as well. They co-host the event with us. So obviously, I'm not going to go steal images from somebody else's website without permission. But even if you had a website or a page on your website that you wanted to grab an image from or something like that. You could put it in here. So it scraped all the images from this web page, and I'm just gonna pick one and use that as our featured image. So it's just nice and easy to get an image if that works for you. Okay, so now that we've got this, I'm gonna hit publish, which actually won't publish in real life because it's a demo portal. So while I'm thinking of that, I'm gonna just hop over here to social. So let's pretend that we published this post. I don't wanna actually take it live just because it'll hold us up. So we published this post. Now we're gonna go promote it in the social tool. Let's just say, I'm actually gonna grab, Experience Inbound's URL and just pretend that it's the blog post that I just did, because I think it'll give us some better results. So I'm in the social tool. Now, if you have your socials connected to your blog, you could actually do this through the publishing and the blog. But like I said, that was a demo portal. So the best way that I could think to show you guys how you can use the AI assistant to adapt a post, say, I want to promote this specific blog article URL, and help me do that. So you go into your social tool, you hit AI assistant, you say, help me promote this webpage that is about our conference. And I'm going to take out my typo. And then I'm going to paste the URL. And we'll see what it gives us. Last night I did it with did it with the preview from the demo blog, and it didn't like that because it wasn't a live URL. So that's why I'm using Experience Inbound. So here it's giving you, and it does kind of sound AI, calling all attendees and professionals, right? So you can tweak that to your voice. You can change it. Like I said, it's not perfect, but again, it's not a blank page. Here also you can expand, you can shorten what it wrote. So if I want to shorten that, it'll generate a new version for me. And let's say I'm good with that. And it's going to show me a preview over here. And so now I've got all these different channels that, the Weidert Group's on, and let's say I want to adapt it for all those different channels. Now it drafted that one for me, but I can come in here and it's auto-generated the Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram for me, and I can edit it. Like, this is warning me that I'm over the limit. So here's another example where I may want to just grab that. It's over the limit, and I'm going to hit, I'm going to paste it in here, and I'm going to tell it, oh, that didn't work. See, live demos, people. But you could tell it just shortened this. I know I'm running up on time here. So, but that's just a way to kind of show you, if you start with this blank page and you have this thing that you want to promote, you can use the tools in HubSpot from ChatSpot and the blog post generator to say, what should I even write about? What could I write about to promote this thing? And then you can use the blog post generator to help you with an outline and a draft. And then you can use the AI tools to help you promote it from a social end. So with that, I'm going to stop sharing and I'm going to hand it over to Matt on our team, who is going to talk to you about, okay, well now, we've published these things, we've got these URLs or these blogs out there, and how do I know if it's working? So Matt, go ahead and talk about reporting.
Yes, thank you, Kelly. Great job, by the way. And just want to give a quick shout out to Weidert Group. This is one of my first times doing something like this, so just happy to be a part of this. And let's get into reporting. All right, so I saw one of the recurring questions was AI reporting. So basically, this is a new feature in HubSpot that is in beta right now. Really, it's pretty limited for right now, but it is useful if you can kind of play around with it, and there are some workarounds, but really it's just for single object reports. And basically, you kind of need to have pro level HubSpot, Marketing Hub, Sales Hub, Service Hub, Professional, all it pretty much has to be professional. And then there's the link down here, which you guys will have after the presentation. So for the prompt, I'm going to use what content drove the most revenue for my business. So let's jump over to the AI reporting. Okay, so here's my prompt right here. And basically, it kind of gives you a list of prompts. In the future, maybe like 3 to 6 months from now, I envision this kind of being a little like I had to use one of the maybe 10 prompts here. It was kind of hard to just ask a question and have it give me a response. So I found this one to work pretty well. So you're just going to hit generate and just give it a second to load. So now you see what content drove the most revenue for my business. You'll see this number right here, which isn't really helpful. So if you click into that, one workaround I kind of found was if you group data. So, you know, Kelly was touching on the idea of a campaign or, you know, maybe an asset type. So right now I'm just going to go group this by campaign. And again, you would just, where it said group data right here, you're just going to search for campaign. And now it kind of gives you all of the revenue by certain campaigns. And if you click into the left-hand side, it'll take you into the actual campaign feature in HubSpot. But if you want to drill down a little bit further, you can come into this number area right here. And if you click into it, it'll give you a better drill down. And that's kind of really all I found this to be useful for. Again, if you go into like the customize section, it kind of removes all the data, but you can kind of do what I was showing you before. But again, the limitations, I think in like 3 to 6 months, this will be a little more baked out. So one last thing I wanted to show you on that, and just give this 1 second to reload. So one of the things I saw somebody ask, I believe in the questions area, was AI assistant writing. So let's pretend we just go ahead and save this. So this description area right here, where this little diamond icon is, kind of where Kelly was showing you how you can create blog content and copy for all that sort of stuff, you can hit generate. And, you know, building out a lot of these reports, one thing that is nice is like I would have to build out that report, and that might take like a half hour to 45 minutes. But maybe as a sales manager, you just want to see, you know, how did a certain campaign perform? And you can kind of just get a quick report if you go into the AI reporting area and just ask it that question. But you know, it generates this nice little description for you. When you build out a lot of these, you kind of forget what reports are what, and you have to look at them over again. So it is nice to just have some context right here, and you can just have AI write a nice description. So with that being said, I'm going to hand it off to our Director of Revenue Operations. He's going to be covering sales emails using AI, and he's going to be comparing 3 different methods. He has a pre-recorded video to show you.
Rick's muted.
Sorry, I was muted. Thank you, Matt. Great job.
Very welcome, Rick.
Like Matt said, I am going to show you 3 different HubSpot tools, 2 HubSpot tools, one outside of HubSpot for writing emails and assisting emails. That was a lot of the questions we got submitted, like how can we use AI to help with more with email? So I am going to, it's nothing new here, but I am going to be brutally honest and share with you the good, bad, and the ugly on these 3 different tools. The the first tool I'm going to take you in is the HubSpot add-on for email. So right now we're in a screen capture of my Gmail account, and I'm going to ask HubSpot, it has write an email for me. And basically what I want to do is I'm pretending in this use case here, I'm a salesperson and I want to send an outreach email to my contacts to promote Experience Inbound, see if I can get them get them there. So I'm telling HubSpot email type is an introduction email. Going to fill out, what are you selling? I'm selling experience inbound event. Had to fill in some of those boxes. I said, let's make it helpful. Click generate, and it came back with this. So not so great. It says, hello, sales managers and marketing managers. Really not what I'm looking for. So I'm going to go back and retry this. So this time I'm just going to make it sales managers. See what we can generate here. Okay, hello sales managers. So again, not exactly an email that I would want to send out. So I'm going to go back. Obviously, I'm starting with the ugly here. And this one, I just said sales manager. Hello, hope you're interested in learning. Not really what I want. So I'm going to click generate more. It generated another one. Something I want to point out about AI and email. AI has a habit of starting emails with, hello, I hope you're doing well, or I hope this email finds you well. And it's just so, when you see that, you know it came from AI, or it came from, yeah, it's a sales AI type of email, and I automatically delete them. So I recommend never start your email with, hello, I hope you're doing well. Just to move along, I'm going to settle on this one, and we're going to take it to the section where we go to fast forwarding. All right. Insert content. So I just wanted to show you this. I mean, I feel like this is not good, not really what I want. It doesn't format the email. It didn't give a link to the event or anything that I was talking about. But I feel like this tool has the most potential, and I'm really excited about HubSpot actually bringing this tool up to speed, because it's built into the email, and you can just click right there, write an email for me. So I'm not sure if anyone's found this useful for other use cases, but for this use case, it's really not useful. And if you've found other use cases for this, please share them inside the chat. Would love to learn about that. So we're going to jump into the next way to write an email with HubSpot AI, and that is ChatSpot. And we'll go into ChatSpot here. I just could put a simple prompt in here. Can you write a short, concise email that will appeal to a sales manager, get him interested in experience inbound? And now this time, I just put a link in to the experience inbound page. Whereas with the Gmail add-in, I had to copy a lot of description information from that page, and the link didn't do anything for me. So here I click generate. It's thinking. It's thinking. There we go. All right. So this one's pretty good. Again, it has, I hope this email finds you well. So we know we're going to take that out. Dear recipient, that's good. Elevate your marketing strategy with experience inbound event. Not a bad subject. Has some good detail in here. No link to the event, but it does have brackets for where I can put that information in. So this is pretty good. And this is free, and this is available in every version of HubSpot. So this is a good one if you don't have a paid GPT account, which I'll take you in next. The one thing I did is I asked it, can you make it shorter? So let's see what it comes back with. It didn't really make it much shorter. Technically it's about a sentence shorter, but not what I would call shorter. So this is not a bad solution, and it's been getting better. Like Kelly said, it's improved a lot since the last time. But my favorite, hands down, and I think the best currently for writing sales outreach emails is GPT version 4. And if you have that, I would recommend continuing using that. And here I just wrote, can you write an email that will entice sales professionals to check out this event? And then I gave it a link, this event that we are hosting. So I like the subject line. And I like the way it formats. So it bolds, it bullets. I didn't even ask it to do that. One thing I did, and you can do with ChatGPT 4, is I trained it not to use those introductions where it says, I hope this email finds you well, which is nice. And I hope someday that ChatSpot you'll be able to train ChatSpot to do that. So it's pretty good. And I love the fact that it included a link. I didn't ask it to include a link, but it included a hyperlink to Experience Inbound, so people could go there and learn more about it. It's a little long, but you can, it wouldn't be a problem just cutting and pasting and using that as is. So now I'm telling it, okay, it looks good. Can you create a shorter version? Subject line's pretty good. Definitely shorter. Put the link in again. Yeah. So that's great. I think this shorter version is great. It actually did what I wanted, shorter version. And again, with AI, you really need to proof it and possibly edit it in a lot of cases, especially blog posts. But sometimes emails are good as is. Any questions or any thoughts on these three tools? Any feedback on how you guys are using them? Mary, we have anything in the questions?
Mark just mentioned that HubSpot AI is sometimes frustrating and the quality of the results depends on the quality of your Wi-Fi. Have you noticed that?
I don't, wow, well, I'm a little bit spoiled since I have fiber optic. So no, I haven't heard that, but it sounds like it could be something that would be real.
Mark also asked about personalizing HubSpot AI. So I don't think that that's possible like you can with ChatGPT. But could you speak to a little bit about how HubSpot AI is using your CRM or any information on your site to answer questions?
Yeah, that is one of the advantages of using ChatSpot, because you can ask ChatSpot to get information. It will take information from your CRM, which is a private database, right? And you don't want to be necessarily sharing that information with ChatGPT because you don't know where that's going to go. But with HubSpot, it's locked down, and you can query, just like Matt showed, create a report. It's querying the database, your private database. So that is a big advantage with ChatSpot. And I think it's eventually, and ChatSpot, I believe it's built on GPT-4 now. So it's eventually going to get there. And I hope that someday they have that app that's the add-on for the email, that they get that to the level of ChatSpot, so that when you request an email, it actually builds it out inside of your email. All right, I'm going to pass this back to Eric. What?
Okay. I just wondered if you could also speak to changing the prompts so that the answers are specific to an audience. Can you do that in the HubSpot tools, or is that just something
Yeah.
ChatGPT can handle.
No, you can definitely do that in HubSpot tools. There is a template, which I didn't show, in ChatSpot. They have templates. They're really good guides, but they take longer to create. So it'll guide you, like, who is your audience, what's your value statement, what are you trying to sell, and it will guide you to fill in this information, and then it will build out the email. So it takes more thought, it takes more time than just saying, hey, give me an email for this event, right? That's what I wanted to show. But so ChatSpot has some really good templates for creating more thoughtful outreach emails, especially when it comes to cold audiences.
Great.
Thanks, Rick. One thing I'm really glad Rick mentioned was keeping your privacy, keeping your information private on HubSpot. Whereas if you jump over to ChatGPT, is interesting and good as it is, you're really not sure. So that's always something to be aware of when you're using these tools. Anything outside of HubSpot, you got to be aware of that. The ChatGPT version 4 is a paid subscription. I think it's $20 a month for that. Don't even bother with the free version of ChatGPT. It's really not that great. You'll get $20 worth of use out of the paid version of ChatGPT. Before we go any further, I want to just have a moment of silence for the lightning bolt. I really feel bad that the lightning bolt is on. I felt very close to the lightning bolt, and even though we have a diamond and a little gem, that's wonderful, but I feel bad about the lightning bolt. So thank you, Kelly, for informing us that has been updated. Again, it's AI, so things are going to change all the time. You never know what it's going to be. But again, if you have a team working with you, I can inform you and help you along the way. Okay, here's a resource that's brand new for Weidert Group, and it's a web page, and you can go there and get some resources on AI and see videos and read blogs, and we'll post stuff there regularly on AI, and hopefully it will help you. But I want to let you know that it's out there. Again, a little shameless plug, but if it helps, we really think it could be useful, so that's why we created it. Okay, we answered some questions in the chat. We can answer some more questions right now. We have a little bit of time. So anything else on your mind as far as AI is? We covered a lot. So what do you got? What other kind of questions are out there?
While you guys type your questions in there, I also just wanted to make this call out for the next hug. Rick's going to continue talking more about AI tools for sales teams. And he will cover HubSpot, but he's also going to go outside of that and show you some other tools. So hope you can join us when I send the follow-up email with the recording, the PDF. There will also be a link so that you can register for the next hug on June 6th.
Yep. The thing is, we want to keep continuing this conversation. That's why we called this hug that, and we want to keep going. And it's always changing. It's always updating. So we're here with you. It's a long journey. It's a strange journey. It can be intimidating, and we want to make sure that you're feeling a little better. If we can help you, that's what we're going to do.
Mary, somebody asked in the chat if showing you how to access ChatSpot directly through HubSpot. So ChatSpot's actually on its own URL, Shelly. So if you go to chatspot.ai, and then if you don't have an account, when you first create an account, it'll ask you what if you want to connect it up to your HubSpot CRM. You can do that so that it can access your actual CRM data. But if you don't use HubSpot CRM, anybody can actually use ChatSpot and create a free account. It won't be able to do as much unless you actually have a HubSpot portal. So that is one that, like, yeah, it's a little clunkier because you have to bookmark that separate URL. But it's nice that it actually can pull you from your data. Mary, somebody else asked in the chat that I wanted to make sure we circled back to because it was too hard to write a response. Was asking about whether or not there are SEO tools inside the HubSpot AI. As far as I know, kind of. I mean, that's why when you hear people or you hear us talk about keeping the human involved in AI, like you don't want to just take something that it gives you and run with it. You're still going to have those. You're still going to want to have those additional SEO tools and SEO steps. Like for example, if I wanted to make sure that that blog post that I was writing about experience inbound, if that was targeting a specific keyword, I believe I could have given that direction to in the prompt. In this case, like, you know, a blog promoting an event is not necessarily going to be meant to drive organic traffic. It's going to be meant to drive traffic from your, you know, from your existing audience primarily. But if I had a keyword, like for example, B2B marketing conference, let's say that was my keyword, I could have put that in the prompt. I'm not honestly sure if HubSpot AI is capable of caring about that at this point and accounting for that in the blog. I think in that case, you'd still want to take the draft that HubSpot gave you and check it in a tool like SEMrush Writing Assistant if you use that to optimize it for the keyword that you're going after. So like we said, you're getting an honest view of a review of HubSpot AI tools. They do have limitations, but you know, where you can use them to improve your efficiency and improve your workflow, it's better than nothing, right?
Anything else? Any other questions?
I don't see any other questions in the chat, but that doesn't mean you can't ask them. So you can email us or just contact us on the website. And we'd be happy to keep the conversation going.
Definitely. Let's do that. Thank you so much for joining us. Appreciate you taking your lunch hour to, or at least lunch hour in the central time zone to do so. We really appreciate you coming.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.